Adrian Day of Adrian Day Asset Management. As a gold investor, you obviously closely watch the euro and the US dollar. I wanted to ask you, Deutsche Bank recently came out saying that these currencies are more about politics than economics. Can we say the same about gold?
Good question. I think it's true of the currencies. I think politics is definitely a major factor with gold, but I don't think by any means it's the only one. No, not at all.
Okay, so when you say it's a major factor,
I think people are looking particularly at, in the last year, in the last 6 months, they're definitely looking at the US administration, Trump and so on. They're looking to see, can Trump get his policies through Congress? Because, as you and I have talked before, I mean, if we get a simplified tax system and lower taxes for corporations and small business as well as individuals, if we get fewer regulations on financial firms in particular, and if we can cut the budget, that is all very, very positive for the US economy and therefore negative for gold. It's not happening at the moment. So I think politics are a major factor with gold. Mm-hmm. And, we saw this last, 10 days ago when he made that sort of agreement with the top Democrats to avoid the debt ceiling cycle that we go through every so often.
Or delaying it, right?
Just delay it. But gold fell off on that, yeah.
So now, tomorrow President Trump is addressing the UN. Then we have the Fed meeting, lots of events taking place here. How can this all impact gold? We also have the German election next week.
There's a lot going on, as you say. I don't think the German election is priced into gold at all. Everyone's expecting Merkel to win handsomely. Mm-hmm. They're expecting the alternative, whatever they're called, to, come third, but respectable, but still a low showing. I don't think there's going to be any surprise there. If there is a surprise, gold will definitely react positively, but nothing's priced in. The Fed, it's funny how, a few weeks ago, the consensus was that the Fed would raise rates in September. That's not going to happen now. Right. So, I think we're going to see the normal stuff we see from the Fed. They're not going to raise, but they're going to talk about how they're data dependent and we'll do, look at it. So I think that's positive for gold.
Well, Adrian, that said, we just listed a lot of events happening, around the world. And I think a lot of investors, the majority of emails we get is, well, why isn't gold higher than where we are? What answer do you give investors?
I think people expect too much from gold. It's funny, I've always thought that. Whatever scenario you're in, people always expect gold to react more than it does. I think there's a legitimate question with North Korea, why isn't gold reacting more? But when you think about what gold has done this year, we've had a series of waves. We've had higher highs, and now we've broke above those highs. We've broken above 1,300, held above 1,300 very convincingly. I think gold has done very well this year.
Many people would argue, it's the cryptocurrencies that are, stealing a lot of thunder here from gold. Do you agree?
I think definitely they take something away from gold. But I think in the long run, I don't think that's a big factor.
It could be hurting gold's rally here, but long term?
No, definitely, because it's an alternative, and gold is an alternative to the stock market. That's why when the stock market is doing well, the economy is doing well, gold doesn't do so well because it's an alternative.
Well, do you view gold as a currency?
Absolutely, gold is a currency, yeah. So the cryptocurrencies definitely are a competitor, just as the ETFs, when they came out, took something away from people buying gold stocks. They're a competitor. But you saw what happened with China last week with Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies, and gold reacted very positively. So I think you're right. It's definitely a factor, but I don't think it's going to destroy gold by any means.
All right, finally, Adrian, we are at the Precious Metals Summit. It is a conference focused on the junior mining sector, which you are an expert on. Give us some picks here. Who are you liking? Full disclosure, of course. 3 picks.
Oh! I wasn't ready for that. 3 picks, that's tough. One would be Midland, which I've recommended before. I think, to me, that's like a core holding in the junior sector. They've got a 13 different projects, 6 or 7 of them joint ventured, lots of drilling this year, so lots of activity, great balance sheet. To me, that's just a core one. I like Evrim a lot, EVM on Toronto. They've got a very attractive project next to Hermosillo, which is First Majestic's mine. We're probably going to see some activity from First Majestic, I would expect. But anyway, that's very good. Not a takeover yet. No. And sorry, I can't think of a third one off the top of my head. There's too many. Good. There's some great companies here.
All right, Adrian Day, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, and thanks for watching our coverage here. We will have much more for you. We're just starting off, so be sure to stay tuned to Kitco.com. Thanks, Adrian.